Your Intrepid Reporter, Joan O'Connor, interviews the man on the street. Tonight's guest is Brad Peterson, historian and humanitarian.
We need to take all of the homeless people each night and I'll put them in one block in one corner of the city in a warehouse. Because that's not going to work for them, and ultimately it's going to be even dehumanizing for the people who staff and work them.
Brad, what do you think is the chief cause of homelessness in San Francisco?
There have always been people who fall through the cracks, whether individual circumstances of psychology and human development, simply broad movements within the society, that there are going to be people in every city, in every town, at some time who are homeless. The question is, why do we perceive it as greater here in San Francisco? The first part of my answer is simply that the economy is in a continuing downturn. People who perhaps 10 years ago would have been housed, would have been employed, are now on the margin, entering homelessness.
Given unlimited resources, what would you propose to alleviate this problem?
Oh boy, if you can dream, dream big, right? To be honest, I think it's the larger issues in society. If I had unlimited resources, there would be much more money invested in education, in public education in the US, particularly here in California and the Bay Area. People are only marketable. Looking at it from the side of the people who create jobs, make jobs available, it's like you need a labor force who is prepared to do competitive work. Number two would be greater emphasis on assisting families on the economic margins, surviving. That is, public health, education, welfare. Those are the primary things.
Street people prefer to sleep on the streets than sleep in shelters. Could this situation be improved?
And I've talked to people who live on the street who have used shelters, and they talk about them being large, unsafe places. If you can be close to the night watch person, if you can be close to the desk, close to the lights, you're safer. Essentially, those are the same rules as living on the street. More smaller facilities, I think, would be the key, where you can have a greater connection between client and the staff personnel.
Describe church-provided services which you know about in San Francisco.
Biggest one I know of that is an agency is Episcopal Community Services, which has a number of, well, they have real property in a variety of places in the city where they have shelters. I think that would actually put a dent in homelessness. Boy, a commitment from local governments that the homeless population are our fellow citizens too, and not so much garbage that needs to be swept up.